Hey guys! Today we'll be covering a 2014 romance film called LDK. At the start of the movie, a recently transferred student, Shusei, is followed by a girl named Mo. After a while, Mo approaches him gasping for breath and reveals her affection for him. However, Shusei rudely turns her down, saying that she is annoying. As he walks away, the other students ridicule Mo for her rejection. Later, as Shusei heads to the class, he is stopped by Mo's best friend, Aoi. She informs him about how Mo had gathered the courage to confess her love for him. Rather than being emotional, Shusei comes closer to Aoi and asks her if she also likes him. Hearing this, Aoi gets angry and pushes him down the stairs. Shusei gets injured, and Aoi is compelled to help him get home. Later, when Shusei tells him they are near his home, Aoi is surprised because it is exactly where she lives. After asking further, they learn that they are next-door neighbors. In the next scene, an injured Shusei lies on his bed while Aoi cleans his room and prepares food for him. After a while, Shusei approaches Aoi half-naked. Seeing him like this, Aoi is startled and accidentally starts a fire. Shortly after, the landlord Kazumi arrives and informs them that repairing the room will probably take more than a week. As a result, Shusei decides to move in with Aoi, much to her dismay. In the next scene, Shusei moves into Aoi's room. The next day at school, Aoi seems tired and irritated by the activities of Shusei at home. Shusei had annoyed her the whole night, and because of which, she was unable to sleep and make her lunch for school. Mo asks Aoi what has happened to her, but Aoi does not answer because Mo still likes Shusei. Meanwhile, two other students arrive and inform Aoi that a couple who were found living together have been expelled from school. Listening to this, Aoi gets more stressed, thinking that if anyone found out that she and Shusei are living together in the same apartment, they could get expelled. After reaching home, Aoi arranges her belongings and prepares posters for Shusei to instruct him about the rules and limitations to stay there. She also partitions the bedroom into two with the help of a bedsheet. While she is doing so, Shusei arrives with his friend Ryosuke. Afraid of being caught, Aoi hides under the blanket. Shusei notices her feet, and to annoy her even more, he sits on top of her. Aoi's in pain, but cannot make a sound. Meanwhile, Ryosuke discovers some ladies' clothes inside the house and asks Shusei about them. Shusei replies that the clothes belong to his female neighbor. When Ryosuke goes to the balcony to check on the female neighbor, Aoi comes out of the blanket and confronts Shusei for bringing his friend home. Soon, Ryosuke returns to the room, and Shusei introduces Aoi to Ryosuke as his neighbor. After that, Aoi is compelled to leave her own apartment. Coming out of the apartment, Aoi gets soaked by the rain and reaches a supermarket. Inside, she finds her friend Sanjo working there. He offers to have her taste the new items that have recently arrived at the supermarket. She seems to have caught a cold, so Sanjo offers her a jacket and an umbrella to return home. The next day, Aoi is greeted by Kazumi while she is on the balcony. She asks her how she is feeling living with a high school roommate. Aoi replies that he is irritating and she is feeling annoyed. Kazumi tells Aoi that Shusei is a good boy as he handles all his expenses and has a part-time job. Meanwhile, Kazumi's son Koda arrives and asks if Aoi would join them for a barbecue. Just then, Shusei arrives at the scene and confirms with Koda. The scene then shifts to the riverside, where Mo, Sanjo, Shusei, and Ryosuke and others are preparing for the barbecue. Sanjo is also a good cook, so he can be seen cooking different dishes. At the same time, Aoi approaches Mo and tells her that Shusei is actually her neighbor. Surprisingly, Shusei's brother Soju also arrives there with a girl named Satsuki, who happens to be Shusei's childhood friend. She rushes towards Shusei and hugs him. In a low voice, Ryosuke says that Satsuki is actually Shusei's ex-girlfriend. The next day, Kazumi provides 2 amusement park tickets to Aoi. Aoi plans to take Mo with her, but Shusei arrives out of nowhere and snatches 1 ticket from her. Later, they are roaming around the amusement park. Shusei holds her hand and takes her to various places. There, she finds out about an event happening soon, where fireworks will be creating a heart shape in the air. She informs Shusei that whichever couple will attend the firework event together will be blessed. However, Shusei tells Aoi that he will attend the event with her. Meanwhile, some other classmates also arrive, and Shusei and Aoi are compelled to hide from them. While they hide, Shusei comes closer to Aoi and is about to kiss her, but she closes her eyes and refrains. Now, Aoi has started feeling something for Shusei. She also confesses her feelings to Mo. With no progress between her and Shusei, Mo decides to help Aoi. Later, while Aoi and Shusei are returning home, Aoi sees a necklace and likes it very much. Unfortunately, the price of the necklace is so high that she can't afford it. As the two reach their apartment, they find Satsuki waiting for Shusei. Seeing him and Aoi together, she gets jealous and threatens Aoi to stay away from him. In the next scene, Shusei hasn't returned home for a couple of days and Aoi is worried for him. Suddenly, Soju approaches her and asks if she really likes him. Aoi denies liking Shusei and asks about what happened between Satsuki and Shusei. Soju just tells her that Satsuki is a good friend of Shusei's who always helps him in need. He further mentions that he will explain what happened between them 2 years ago, only if she will obey his one condition. He then leans forward and kisses Aoi, but she starts screaming and runs away. In the next scene, Shusei and Soju can be seen together, where Soju is providing him with some money, stating that he will need it if he is living together with a girl. However, Shusei rejects the money. At the same time, Soju comments about Aoi and tells him that he kissed her. Upon hearing this, Shusei gets angry and is about to punch his brother, but controls himself. He then goes to Aoi and finds her crying alone on a hill. He approaches her and kisses her on the cheek, stating that now her unpleasant first kiss has been reset. Time passes by, and now Aoi has started feeling comfortable with Shusei. One day while the two are returning home after shopping, Sanjo notices them and stops them. Aoi asks Shusei to go away, but he stays with her. Later, she tells him that if Sanjo sees them together, it may cause trouble. In reply, Shusei tells her that he does not care what others think about them. He just loves spending time with her. After that, as the fireworks event is approaching, Aoi buys a lovely good luck dress for herself. Later at night, Shusei gets a call from Satsuki and rushes out of the house. He seems to be a little tense and keeps on thinking about the promise he made to Satsuki 2 years before. When Shusei returns home late at night, Aoi asks him about what happened between him and Satsuki 2 years before. However, Shusei just ignores her question and enters his room. The next day, Aoi meets Mo and finds out that she and Ryosuke are in a relationship. From Ryosuke, Aoi learns that today is Shusei's birthday. After reaching home, an excited Aoi prepares different dishes for Shusei's birthday. She also prepares a beautiful cake to surprise him. Soon, she gets a call from Satsuki who informs her that Shusei will not be returning home. She also mentions that she is going to be intimate with him tonight. Hearing this, Aoi becomes devastated. Later at night, when Shusei returns home, he is surprised to see all the dishes prepared for him. He sits to eat them and compliments Aoi for her skill. Noticing Aoi's silence, Shusei asks her about what she wants. Crying, Aoi replies that she just wants him to smile. Upon hearing this, Shusei comes closer to Aoi but does not kiss her. Rather, he gets up, packs his belongings, and moves out of the room. It's raining outside, and Aoi follows him to find him standing in the middle of the road. She hugs him from behind and tells him that she has started liking him and wants to be together. Shusei replies that he does not hate her, but also mentions that he is not in a condition to accept the relationship and stay with her. In the next scene, we see the landlady's son tying his wish, written on a piece of paper, to a tree. Elsewhere, Mo finds something strange about Aoi and asks Ryosuke about the truth between Satsuki and Shusei. Ryosuke reveals that Shusei and Satsuki have been friends since childhood. They were also in a relationship, but it didn't work out. They always quarreled whenever they were together. Because of the toxic relationship, Shusei broke up with her, but Satsuki couldn't handle the decision. Later during Christmas, Satsuki messaged Shusei that she would be waiting for him under a Christmas tree, but Shusei ignored her messages. After several hours, Shusei listened to her voice message and learned that Satsuki was actually waiting for him outside in the freezing cold. He rushed to the place and found her unconscious due to the freezing cold. She was taken to the hospital, and during that time, Shusei promised to be with her until she finds happiness in her life. Ryosuke then tells Mo that it's the same promise that Shusei is fulfilling now. After that, Aoi reaches home to find a beautiful necklace on her table. She remembers telling Shusei about the necklace and cries her heart out over it. At present, Shusei is with Soju, where he reveals that because of the promise he made with Satsuki, he is unable to live a happy life. On the other hand, Mo is planning to go to the festival with Ryosuke and is also looking to find a date for Aoi. She approaches Sanjo and asks him to accompany Aoi to the festival. Sanjo immediately agrees. It's the day of the festival, and Aoi is ready, wearing her new dress. Mo and Ryosuke send her ahead of them on the bus, asking her to meet Sanjo. After that, they go straight to Shusei's room and find him lying on the floor. Ryosuke approaches him and tells him that he seemed so happy when he was with Aoi, and it is also what he wants. He also mentions that he cannot run away from his feelings throughout his life. Mo also comes forward and tries her best to make Shusei understand that he actually loves Aoi. She further mentions that Aoi's already at the festival with Sanjo. Realizing his love for Aoi, Shusei rushes to the festival, taking Ryosuke's scooter. Aoi is with Sanjo at the festival, and the fireworks have already started. Elsewhere, Shusei is stuck in a traffic jam. He tries to sneak through but gets stopped by traffic police. As a result, he leaves the scooter and runs towards the festival. Meanwhile, Sanjo confesses his love for Aoi. When the firework makes a heart in the air, Sanjo leans forward to kiss Aoi, but she cries and apologizes to him. Later, Aoi is walking alone among the crowd when she hears someone calling her name. She turns around to find Shusei searching for her. After they see each other, Shusei approaches Aoi and confesses his feelings for her. He says that he just wants her to smile and asks her to be his girlfriend. Angry, Aoi comes closer to Shusei and slaps him. She then tells him that she is also weak, but can never let go of her feelings for him. Soon a heart is made in the air by the fireworks, and Aoi leans forward to kiss Shusei. At the same time, Shusei takes out his phone and clicks a picture of Aoi, teasing her. At last, when the firework makes a heart, Shusei kisses Aoi. He also places the necklace which he had bought for her around her neck. In the last scene, we are shown the wish that Koda had tied to the tree. Turns out that he had wished for Shusei and Aoi to be together forever.